Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjal farajahu. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. This year, we have been speaking about attacks on the family. Some of you may be wondering, why are we speaking about this topic? Shouldn't we be speaking about something relevant to Muharram? Aren't we supposed to be speaking about Darde Dele Imam Hussein? I'd like you all to listen carefully. Maybe these attacks are the things that upset Imam Hussein. Maybe Imam Hussein worries about these things and wants us to be careful of them. And if we see that our families have fallen victim to these attacks, think about what we can do to correct what's gone wrong, or to at least protect our children and grandchildren before it's too late. So when we hear the word attack, we usually imagine something loud and obvious. An attack on marriage, children, modesty, or religion. But some attacks do not arrive shouting. They arrive quietly, through expectations, exhaustion, habits, and things we have slowly accepted as normal. Today I want to speak about one of the most fragile moments in family life. The days and weeks after a child is born. We often treat birth as the end of the danger. The pregnancy is over. The delivery is over. Alhamdulillah, the mother and baby are safe. People say Mubarak. Guests come. Everyone asks the name. Everyone asks who the baby looks like. Everyone is smiling. And yet, while everyone is focused on the baby, the family itself is now in danger. The attack has not ended, it has only changed shape. The first attack after birth is the abandonment of the mother. I don't mean everyone else leaves the house. Everyone can be around, but nobody is really carrying her. Everyone visits, but the visits become another burden. Everyone gives advice, but nobody brings relief. Everyone asks about the baby, but nobody really asks, how are you? Have you eaten? Have you slept? What can I take off your shoulders? A mother after birth is not simply back to normal. Her body has gone through something serious. Her sleep is broken. Her hormones are changing. She may be in pain. She may be awake at night while everyone else sleeps. She may be holding the baby with one hand and trying to hold the house together with the other. And yet, what do we expect from her? Cook, clean, host guests, smile, manage the older children, feed the baby, wake at night, recover quickly, don't complain, don't say no to visitors. When did this become normal? We say we honor mothers. We say we honor mothers, but sometimes we consume them. We call her strong and then use that strength as an excuse not to support her. We say women have always done this. Yes, women have always given birth, but that does not mean they were meant to carry these responsibilities alone. If the family does not carry the mother now, the whole house will start carrying the consequences. And this duty extends further than the home. The grandparents have to understand that support is not control. The guests have to understand that a visit which takes from the mother is not support, it is another demand. The family should bring food, reduce pressure, help with the house, protect her from unnecessary stress, and allow her to recover. And the women with experience have an important duty. If you went through difficulty, then help the next woman suffer less. Don't turn your pain into a standard that every young mother must now meet. The next attack after the child is born is when emotional suffering after birth is misunderstood. Postnatal depression and anxiety are real. They are not always obvious. A mother can love her baby and still feel overwhelmed. She can be grateful and still feel numb. She can smile in front of guests and cry when they leave. She can hold the baby and feel fear, guilt, sadness, or emptiness. And then feel worse because she thinks, what kind of a mother am I for feeling this? And what do people say? You should be happy. At least your baby is healthy. Other women went through worse. Just pray more. Don't be ungrateful. No. Of course faith matters. Prayer matters. Tawakkul matters. But faith does not mean ignoring suffering. If someone has a broken leg, we don't say just pray more. We tell them to pray and we also help them. So why, when the suffering is emotional, do we become so simplistic? A mother can love her child deeply and still need help deeply. And this is where the husband must be awake. The family must be awake. Do not wait until she collapses. Listen to her. Ask her properly. Not while walking past the kitchen or looking at your phone. Ask her with your full attention. How are you really? And when she answers, do not punish her honesty. If she says she's struggling, don't make it about you. Don't say, so you're saying I'm not helping? Don't say, other women manage. Listen, support, and make space for recovery. The attack is that the mother suffers silently while everyone mistakes her pain for bad character, weak faith, or ingratitude. A home that shames a struggling mother is not protecting the baby. It is weakening the very person the family depends on most. Now let's talk about the father. Another attack after birth is that the father is reduced to money, as if his only duty is to bring money home. Everyone knows the baby needs the mother, but how often do we hear that the mother needs the father? We see fathers stand at the edge of the home and say, I don't know what to do. Or they disappear into work and convince themselves that because they are earning, they have fulfilled their duty. But a father is not only a provider of money, he should be a provider of peace. His role is to stabilize the home. He protects the mother from overload. He protects the baby by being present. He protects older children from feeling abandoned. He protects the marriage from becoming cold. And yes, we should recognize fatherly effort. Some are working long hours, paying rent or mortgage, helping at night, and still nobody sees them. We should not make fathers invisible, but we should raise the standard. A man should not comfort himself by saying, other men do even less. The question is not what other men neglect. The question is what his home needs from him. If a man's wife has just given birth, if she is recovering, if she is feeding the baby, if she is awake at night, then "I have work tomorrow" cannot become the sentence that abandons her. A job cannot become a hiding place while his wife is drowning in the same house. So a man must ask himself, what can I take off her shoulders today? Can I handle the older children? Can I reduce the guests? Can I clean without making a speech about it? Can I sit with her without trying to fix everything immediately? Can I let her sleep? Can I be patient when she is not herself? And whatever responsibility he takes from the mother, he should own 100% so that she does not have to supervise it, remind him, or redo it. But she should give him room to carry it out without correcting every detail. A father after birth should not stand at the edge of his home. He should be the reason the home does not collapse under the weight of change. And this leads to another attack. The marriage itself can start to disappear. When a baby is born, the baby needs feeding, changing, holding, soothing. The mother is naturally drawn to the baby because the baby genuinely needs her. The father may feel pushed to the side, but he must not let that feeling become jealousy. However, the baby must not replace the marriage. The marriage is the root of the child's home. If that root dries out, the whole home suffers. Many couples after birth slowly stop being husband and wife. They become co-managers of a baby. Their conversations become nappies, feeding, appointments, crying, sleep. They stop looking at each other. They stop talking to each other. They stop thanking each other. They stop touching each other with warmth. They stop laughing. And slowly, without a dramatic argument, they start feeling like flatmates. This is an attack because nobody warns them. The world says, "You had a baby, congratulations." But nobody says, "You will both be tired, but don't turn away from each other." Nobody says, "The baby needs you to remain connected," because your connection is part of the baby's security. The husband must not demand romance from an exhausted wife as if nothing has changed. But the wife must not forget that the husband is part of the family. Both must understand that this is a season. It is not forever. But if they stop turning towards each other, the season can become a habit, and the habit will create distance. So protect the small moments. Not grand romantic gestures, but 5 minutes of real conversation. A message during the day that is not about nappies or appointments. Sitting with her while she eats. A hug at the end of a long day. A few words that remind them both, "This is hard, but I love you, and we are still together." A marriage after birth does not usually collapse because of one big betrayal. It fades when two tired people stop turning towards each other. Now let's talk about the older children when the newborn comes. When a new baby is born, the older child can become invisible. Everyone rushes to the newborn. Everyone says, "You're big now," and the older child is told to be quiet. Don't touch. Don't cry. Don't be jealous. Don't make things harder for mum. Put yourself in that child's place. Yesterday, they had a place in the family. Today, everyone is looking at the baby. Mum is tired. Dad is busy. Guests go straight to the newborn. Conversations are about the baby. And when the older child starts behaving badly, people say, "Why are you being naughty?" Maybe they are not being naughty. Maybe they are grieving. Maybe they are asking in the only language they know. Have I been replaced? Am I still loved? Where is my place now? The older child does not only need guidance, often they need reassurance that they have not been pushed out of the family. Sibling jealousy does not begin when children are teenagers. It can begin at birth, when the older child feels pushed aside. If parents mishandle this baby becomes a rival before the baby has even done anything. That older child starts resenting the newborn. The parents see the older child as a problem, and a moment that should have grown the family becomes destructive instead. So prepare the older child before birth. Let them help, but don't turn them into a parent. Keep some one-to-one time. Let visitors greet the older child before rushing to the baby. Don't say, "You're big now," as if being big means they no longer need love. Don't shame the child, for jealousy. Guide them, correct them, but understand what is happening underneath. The newborn enters the family. The older child should not feel they have been pushed out of it. Now we come to breastfeeding. This topic has to be handled with mercy, but also with seriousness. It is part of the mother-child bond and the early rhythm of the family, and modern medicine confirms that the mother's milk is the best option, and breastfeeding should continue until the child approaches 2 years of age. But listen carefully. This is not a burden to throw onto the mother and then walk away. If we believe mother's milk is a right of the child, then supporting the breastfeeding mother becomes a duty of the family. A breastfeeding mother needs food, she needs rest, she needs help with the house, she needs protection from stress, she needs a husband who understands that her body is doing work even when she is sitting down. She needs relatives who do not pressure her. She needs experienced women who can advise without humiliating her. She needs a community that makes breastfeeding easier, not harder. In today's world, many mothers are exhausted, isolated, undernourished, and then pushed back into the old pace too quickly. Then, when breastfeeding becomes difficult, we act as if the mother failed. Maybe she did not fail. Maybe the environment failed her. We must support the mother properly before assuming she cannot continue. Professional help has its place, and we should benefit from it. Sometimes a mother struggles, and then one small change makes a huge difference. A change in diet, latch, positioning, reducing stress, even a suggestion from an experienced mother. So do not suffer silently, and do not give up too quickly. Not every traditional remedy is sound, but not every useful answer is found in a clinic either. Ask, seek, and try. There is also an uncomfortable point that we cannot avoid. Some women avoid breastfeeding because of body changes or appearance. We must reject the modern idea that a woman's body exists mainly to remain visually attractive. If a culture teaches women to fear feeding their own baby because their body may no longer match some artificial image of attractiveness, then that culture is sick. A mother should not be shamed for struggling to breastfeed. A culture, a society should be ashamed if it teaches women to value appearance over nourishment. The outside world has already done enough damage to how women see their bodies. It has turned bodies into things to display, compare, edit, preserve, and sell. But motherhood reminds us that the body has honor beyond appearance. A mother's body is not less valuable because it changes to nourish a child. It is more honored because of it. Another reason breastfeeding becomes difficult is the pressure to resume the old pace. The mother's work, the father's overtime, and a house that expects everything to continue as before. That takes us to the next attack. We must not shame people whose lives are genuinely hard, but we should not hide behind the word forced too quickly. Family life is built on decisions. Some are direct. Some were made long before the child was born. If we planned for an expensive wedding, an expensive honeymoon, a newer car, a bigger house, a lifestyle we wanted, and then we say the mother has no choice but to leave her child for paid work, then we have to ask ourselves, what did we prioritize? Money matters, but it cannot become the excuse that hides every other priority. What is family for, if not to support a mother and child? What is community for, if a woman gives birth and is then left alone because nobody wants to sacrifice? Why do we spend so much on events that last one day and then struggle to support a mother through the years when a child is being formed? If we can plan for weddings, holidays, cars, houses, and appearances, then we can plan for the foundational years of a child's life. Before a child is born, a couple should ask, what would it take for the mother to remain present with the child? What expenses can we reduce? Can the father carry more? Can we stop spending thousands to impress people and start sacrificing for things that actually protect our children? If the mortgage, the car, the holiday, and the image are untouchable, while the mother's presence with her child is negotiable, then we should stop calling it forced. We are trading our child's foundations for things that will not matter in 10 years' time. And if a family genuinely needs nursery or a nanny, then at least we shouldn't pretend the child won't be affected. A child forms bonds with the people who hold them, who feed them, who comfort them, and who respond to their needs. Choose them with seriousness. Don't ask only, are they cheap? Or, is the nursery close? Ask deeper questions. Will they treat the child with love, mercy, patience, and warmth? Will they respect our values and beliefs? Will my child feel safe with them? Or are we placing the child somewhere because our adult life has been arranged in a way that leaves no room for them? If someone else must help raise your child, choose them as if part of your heart is being placed in their hands. This is why we must honor mothers who stay home. Society often treats paid work as visible, while the work of raising a child is invisible and optional. A woman can spend the whole day feeding, soothing, teaching, guiding, and managing the rhythm of the home, and someone will ask, but does she work? What a foolish question. Of course she works. She is building the first world of the child. She is shaping the atmosphere that the child breathes. And if a father works hard to make that possible, he should also be honored. The attack is that the world recognizes the work that produces money, but not the work that forms true human beings. After birth, the family must not be left to improvise. We can celebrate a birth and still fail to protect the family that receives the child. If we protect the family, the child's arrival can deepen the marriage and bring a new mercy into the home. But if it is left unprotected, that same blessing can arrive into a house that is too exhausted, too unsupported, and too distracted to receive it. When a baby enters our home, do they enter a house of pressure, loneliness, and survival, or a house where everyone knows how to carry one another? Because a child is not only born into a family, a child reveals what kind of family we already are. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل